Hey everybody, welcome back to another flea market finds video. This is another tool pick video of stuff that I picked at the Brimfield Flea Market in fall of 2023. And this was the first day that I went out. I actually went out a couple of days. And let's dive right in, try and make this a little bit quicker. So one of the first buys of the day were these neat little precision oilers. I don't remember exactly, like that one in the middle is made in the US. These are both made in the USA. Actually, these are all made in the USA. I think these originally came with sewing machines back in the day. So if you take this, unscrew this cap, there's a nice, really small, not quite a needle tip, but a very small tip there. And then not all of them have it, but some of them have this needle built into the cap. So the idea is that to screw this back on, you have to have the needle in there. But more importantly, the needle is so you can really put like a pin drop of oil on something. Like maybe, if you're working on like a clock and you wanted to put just a tiny bit of oil on a clock bushing or something, I would think that would be handy. So one of these is patented April of 1895. Another one's patented in 1905. And then one of them's not marked with any patent dates, just says made in the USA. I got this number stamp. It says return to lab. That's lab. So somebody pitched this from the lab, or the lab got rid of it as surplus. So this is from the Greenfield Steel Stamp Works. I've never seen any from this particular company. Nice joinery on the box there. And it's the larger numbers, and it's a complete set. So for $5, that was a good deal. One of these cast metal drill indexes. This one's in really rough shape. A lot of the paint has come off, and more importantly, unfortunately, a good part of the label is kind of destroyed, but I can just make out that it's a Craftsman. I do have kind of a weakness for these. Apparently I'm not the only guy. I noticed recently on one of Mr. Pete's videos, he talked about that he likes them, and that he said that A-Bomb, there is, I guess even Adam Booth is even into these more than he is. One of these days I should just make some room on the bench here, clean off this junk and lay them all out and just kind of do a video on my collection, because I have quite a few. This is a number drill. I don't have any of this style. I don't think I have any from Craftsman, actually. So it was in pretty rough shape. He had 20 on it, and he took my offer at 10. So I'm happy with that for $10, even though it is kind of rough. Another guy had a whole pile of oil cans, and I asked him how much on the oil cans, and he said $3 a piece. So at $3 a piece, I couldn't resist the temptation to pick up yet another Eagle oil can, another number 66. I have a whole bunch of these already. I need to actually get rid of some of these, and I've kind of cooled off on buying them. I used to pay more. I used to pay, $10 or $15 for one, depending on the condition. This one is actually in pretty good shape, and for $3 it was a good deal. And then he had this one, which is also an Eagle, this style. It's also in really good shape, so I got that one for $3 also. So $6 for those two. Then I got this level off of the same guy for $10. And what this is this is a Stanley number 36, I think it says. So it's clearly marked there and there, and also marked New Britain, Connecticut, made in the USA. Rough looking, but for $10 I couldn't resist it. Here's something not tool related, but it just caught my eye. I actually bought a Moxie bottle that had this stopper in it. The bottle was the old green glass style Moxie bottle. I actually already have that up in the house, just on a shelf for display. But the main reason I bought it was because I spotted this stopper. I don't think that this necessarily was the correct stopper for that bottle, and I just thought it was kind of neat looking, and so I paid him $10 for the bottle with the stopper. I used to like Moxie. It's an acquired taste for sure. The first buy of the morning that I made was a Kennedy toolbox that was kind of beat up and ugly looking. I paid like $50 or $60 for it because I got the box with the entire contents for that money. So I actually filmed that footage earlier, and we're going to take a look at that right now. So this was actually the first pick of the morning. This Kennedy toolbox, which doesn't look like much, I ended up getting for 60 bucks. If the box was empty, that would be overpaying for a box like this in this condition. But the reason why I bought it was because this box was with contents. And I started to look through the drawers a little bit and saw enough in there that I immediately just wanted to cut a deal on the whole thing. And not wait for more people to start coming around that might be looking for what I'm looking for, and they're staring over your shoulder. So this guy didn't even have this out yet, but I just happened to buy a couple of little things, and I asked him if he had any machinist tools, and he says, you know what, I got one box. He pulled it out. Like I said, it wasn't even on the table yet. And I bought it, had him slide it out, paid him, slide it out under the way, and I picked it up later. So now you and I are going to look through this box and see everything that's in here for the first time. First, a quick look at the box. Initial look at it, you guys might have thought, hey, that doesn't look like that's that bad. I mean, it's a Kennedy, for crying out loud. Well, the problem is it's got a lot of bubbled up rust area here where the paint, the original paint, is flaking off. It's got some rust on the hardware. Down here on the side, it's also got a whole area here where the paint's just flaking off and it's rusty. I'll still probably get 30 or 40 bucks for this box just because it's got the original cover, it's complete, no key. But just to give you an idea why this box isn't where I thought the value was in this. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. So when he pulled the box out and we went to open it, turns out it was locked and he didn't have the key, but the lock here is really, it's got a lot of damage to it, and it looks like somebody's just been, for a while now, jamming whatever was handy in there to open this. The old school safety glasses. Oh, those are pretty rough. Boy, somebody was really frugal with their high-speed steel. Some of these nubs are just like down to nothing. All right. Usual assortment of what I now have too many of and what do not seem to sell for much these days. Outside and inside calipers. But some of these are Starrett, but this is an example of something that even if it's Starrett, it's not going to be very valuable unless you happen to come across just the right one. This one's catching my eye, though. This is a little bit different. I don't know who made this. So this is just a pair of general dividers. But what is interesting, so I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on with the legs on this thing. Because it's kind of hard to tell from this side. They did such a good job blending it in, but on this side you can just see right there's a gap. Somebody brazed tips onto these. I wonder if these started out life as inside calipers or something and somebody needed dividers. That's kind of funky. Alright, let me just take a quick look through this junk in here and see what pops out. Alright, so there's a bunch of junk in here, hardware, some new and used blades. This is a 18-inch satin chrome scale, which is nice. It's a general. Would have been nice if it was a Starrett. It's not in the greatest condition, but still a good usable scale. These dikes right here are, these diagonal cutters are actually Craftsman, and they're not in horrible shape. I've seen much worse for something this age. This is another pair of really grody looking safety glasses. But these, actually, I'll keep them right here on the bench. These are, a pair of cheaters, reading glasses or whatever you want to call them. And I just tried them on, and they're actually perfect for me. And, well, they might actually be a little strong even. These are Grand Opticians, 156 Montauk Street, Brooklyn, New York. And then Maine, I guess it means the Maine number, is 5-6545. So 5-digit phone number. So these have got some age to them. They got kind of a cool retro look to them. And then everything else that was in the top here that looked like it was worth a dime or more was I put up here, which is we got this hammer with the non-marring nylon tip on one side, and then the I think that's nylon, I don't know. And then looks like brass or bronze tip on the other side. I don't see a maker's name on it, but I don't care. Here's a very homemade looking or shop made looking little vise, like a machinist vise. Kind of neat little large sized hand wheel on this thing. It's actually not bad. Kind of like it. It's got these holes in it. I wonder if they had maybe a spanner with a couple of pins that would lock into that to tighten this down. Otherwise, I can't imagine why the hole's there, unless this was something that they repurposed to make the handle. Here's a little plane. I think you call this style plane a block plane, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'm not a woodworking guy. I'm not a plane guy, but I occasionally will buy them if they look interesting and the price is right. And this is a... Alright, so this is marked Sears, made in England. Huh, alright. So, anybody know who is making woodworking planes for Sears based out of England? Here's just a magnet with this ball mount on it. So there must have been something that went on here. Maybe we'll find it in the other drawers. And then this unusual surface gauge. Clearly somebody made this. Yeah, obviously everybody made everything, right? No, I mean it's like a homemade type of deal, right? But this rod might not be. Oh no, maybe it is. Okay. And then this was in there too, but this snug almost looks a little too good. Snug looks like it might have been commercially made, and there's a scriber. But this is how they were in here, right? Well, they were in the drawer together, so I think they belong together. Alright, so another one of those that are hard to sell. And then probably the best thing in the top here might be what's in this box, if there's something good. No, just a 0 to 1 mic. Well, I'll tell you what, it's got carbide tips and the faces actually look pretty good. The lock still works. It's got a ratchet thimble. But what it doesn't have is a name on it. So the manufacturer's name on these is usually going to be up here on this barrel, or it's going to be on here on the frame. This has got the remnants of some sort of green enamel paint. This looks very Mitutoyo-ish to me. Mitutoyo? Yeah, I think this is a Mitutoyo. Actually, I think this is a made in Japan. This is either Mitutoyo or NSK. Oh, right there, it's a Mitutoyo. Oh, so this is probably the original box for it. Moron. Okay, alright, so big whoop. Alright, let's hope the other drawers get back. Not thrilled with what I'm seeing up here. And if I didn't mention it already, I paid $60 for this box with contents. Alright, let's see what we got. The heck? These look like Asian characters almost. That's interesting. The gentleman I bought this stuff from was Asian. Alright, top left. More random, unexciting high-speed steel, center drill. That's a little interesting little reamer. It's kind of cool, actually. A lot of brass. Oh, this is all little solid brass stock. This might come in handy. There's a die. There is a Lufkin punch, metric wrench, USA. Huh. 12 and 14 millimeter. Oh, what's this? Empty. Alright, I'm not even going to open that one because it's probably empty too. Well, wah. Oh, wait a minute. A pin vise. Oof. Boy, that thing's taken a beating in its life. What the heck? This must have been used near a sander or a grinder, and it took a lot of hits. There's supposed to be knurling on this part here. All the knurling's gone, and the knurling on here is pretty bad too. You can see what I mean. It's had a hard life. There's a remnant of something in there. Alright, next drawdown. Okay, well there's the General Pin Vices holder, so let's go back here and grab that sucker. Alright, let's see if we get lucky and find a full set. Okay, here we go, ratcheting tap wrench, General. So for those of you who haven't seen one of these before, the way these work is ratchets in one way. If you put the thing in the middle, well, that's supposed to kind of have a snap detent, and it's kind of lousy. If you put it in the middle, then it will lock it like a regular tap wrench, and then you put it this side and it ratchets the other way. Kind of neat. Alright, had to stop for a phone call. Let's see, what do we got here? Another tap wrench. This is a General, but it's a little bit different. I don't remember ever having a General that was shaped like this, where it tapers down to a thin shaft and then has the larger head on it, so that must be an early one. What the heck is this? This is a tap. There's a tap in there. So somebody made themselves a tap holder. And what does it do? Let's see. This must be, because I see that the tap goes right through this collar. So the tap, I could see it goes right through this collar into this chuck. So this must be a depth stop. I'm assuming this is just so you can grab onto it to turn this to unlock the chuck and get the tap out. And then, well, okay, that's interesting. That hole makes me think that it's a hole for a center to go in, so you can use it as use a tap follower in there. But that thing is off center. That's weird. All right, that's funky. Oh, there we go. There's another. There's 2 out of the 4 from the set. We have a. Okay, we got another weird thing going here. We got somebody took a drill chuck, looks like a regular old Jacobs, press fit a brass pin in here. Why? To open it and close it? Yeah, I guess. And then press fit this brass arbor in there. Somebody had a lot of brass laying around for their projects. It's an interesting little tap. Ooh, that's a nice little plumb bob. Although I guess I've exhausted my... Used to be able to sell these, you know, and I think all of the guys that I sell to now own enough of them that nobody wants them anymore. So I'm going to start shying away from buying those unless there's something that catches my eye. Oh, that's cool. That's a die holder. Made out of solid brass. This is a lathe drive dog for driving something that's being held between centers on a lathe. Old school. Oh, there's number 3. Oh, that's a blue point. That's cool. 3/8, 7/16 inch blue point. You tool aficionados might be able to recognize just by looking at this. They might be able to tell me the vintage of that sucker. That's a early blue point. Alright, let's reposition the camera and do the small draws on the right. Alright, top right draw. High-speed steel. Crap. More of these little brass stops, collars that the guy had made. Oh, here we go. Here's a Union Tool pitch gauge. Don't come across a lot of those. Feeler gauge set made by Castar.
Kastar, made in the USA. Nobody cares about those either. That looks like a pin gauge. That does not look like a dowel. And we're still missing one of these pin vices. Uh-oh. I think we might only be 3 for 4 on this. Nope, there it is. 4 for 4. Great, we got a set. Put those in the pouch. And what else we got in here? Oops. Well, that went into the next drawer, whatever it was. We have a fishtail, aka center gauge for lathe setup. General tool parallel clamp. That's a 118A. There's the other one, so we get a pair of general. Oh, this is weird. Somebody lost the or broke the correct one, and they just put a long screw in there. Okay. And then we got this. Oh, there we go. Goes right in this one. Goes right in the one in your hand, Steve. This is a General 119 or 118B. This one's actually nicer because it's got the hard casing finish on it, like a Starrett, like some of the early Starretts did. So that's actually a nicer set right there. And we got a dime and some pennies. Of course, those of you who don't know, the pennies is an old trick. They're supposed to act as almost like sacrificial anodes, so to speak, to help prevent corrosion. The idea being that they'll corrode before the tools. Alright, now let's take a look at the last 2 drawers. Things better pick up quickly or otherwise something's wrong here. Alright, we got a General protractor, CF19 with the little pouch. Old Starrett 436 by the looks of it. Yeah, it's an old Starrett 436. 1 to 2 inch. More brass. So this says pin chuck set, catalog number, blah blah blah, made in India, and yeah, that's pretty much junk. Well, I shouldn't say junk. There's a lot of good tiny little drill bits in here. All snap so easily. It's always nice to have extras of those. This is a General. Oh man, it's stuck to the. General/MG, which I think is English. No, this says Japan. Okay, yeah, it was Japan. I think this is kind of like NSK quality, but you know, it's an old digital caliper, so, and I can't even get it to move. It's just funky. I think those are junk. Oh, here we go. Here's something good. This, well, no, maybe not. I was hoping this was going to be a Starrett square, but it does not look like it has any markings on it whatsoever. And we just got some little scales in here. There's a scale made in Italy. Boy, that's junk. Alright, last draw. Peacock, which is an import caliper, and it does not. Oh, look at that! See, these are lottery calipers. Call these lottery calipers because they randomize. The measurement is different every time you take it. They use these to select Powerball numbers here in Massachusetts. Yeah, so junk. Well, somebody might be able to clean the rack on that and make it work perfectly fine, but it's not worth it for me to bother with. Look at this. Oh, that's a long screwdriver there. Oh, this hammer was in there too, but I just moved it out of the way. Nothing to get excited about. Looks like a body hammer. Like auto body hammer, or for sheet metal, or tin knockers hammer. I don't know what you want to call it. Aha. Look, we're getting somewhere. Remember this magnet with the ball? We've got a magnifier with the ball. So something tells me there was, if it's not still in here somewhere, something to link these two together. You know, some sort of a swivel thing maybe.
But for now, they're
not that interesting. Okay. All right. Natural hard Arkansas file set. That is empty. That figures. Some drill bits. Oh man,
this is it. I'm hoping this is an early pair of Starrett 120 dial calipers.
Damn. Depth mics. All right, I'm pretty sure the center drill isn't part of this set. Well, it's a nice shape. It's a 0 to 3 inch. It's got the narrow foot on it. I mean, I'm just not going to get that much for that.
You know, some of you guys might be thinking, hey, $60 for all that's a great deal, but from a resale standpoint, not really. The box is kind of rough. A lot of this stuff here is general. It's not, you know, not even a great brand name. Yeah. Quit your complaining, Steve.